that part out. So the spawns is Kate Quigley going,
All right, we're on. Guys, we're on. We're rolling. Okay, what's up, everybody? Hi, kids at home. We have video today. I don't know which camera is mine. I'm looking at all three.
I think the middle one.
I think so, too.
Nope, this one. Look at that one. That's your camera.
We all have our own.
I'm directing today.
Guys, it's Kate. This is Date Fails. I'm back in the studio at All Things Comedy. I haven't been here.
Where you been? What have you been celebrating holidays? What's the matter with you?
No, I've been recording the podcast out of my house because I didn't have a car.
I think one time I watched you ask someone, hey, do you want to be on my podcast? And then they were like, or no, you said, do you want to record? And the guy's like, yeah, or whoever the comic was. And then you just pulled it out of your backpack. That was the whole setup.
I've done that. I've done that too.
And I was like, whoa.
No, that's genius. That's so
right at
smart.
this noisy bar.
My mics that I use when I record on the road, Jack knows because we've done it.
Yeah.
They only pick up like what's right here. They don't pick up surround. So you can do it at a bar.
Yeah.
It's great because like if I'm out on the road and I run into a comic I never see, I can like go to happy hour with them, get them a little buzzed.
Okay.
And then they say everything.
Yeah, just right at a bar. You're like, I was on one date, and the people next to you are like, please stop recording this.
Yeah, it is a little annoying sometimes. Whatever. But now I'm here.
Yeah, we're at a real studio.
We're in a real studio.
With real...
Look at you.
Lights,
Thank
camera.
you.
Jeff is so photogenic, although you look like you're going to rob a 7-Eleven today.
It's cold out, and I wore a scarf because I want to... Don't you feel like living in LA, you're like, I want to wear all my winter things, but it's always warm. And this morning my phone said, good morning, it's 48 degrees out. And I was like, today's a scarf day.
Nice.
It's freezing.
Yeah,
right
48
now.
is too cold for me.
And I have no heat.
What do you mean?
Okay, my landlord loves to save money on utilities, even though he's not paying.
Do you know
them.
how confusing this is for the rest of America, by the way?
What do you
They're
mean?
like, Kate Quigley's verified on Twitter. She has her own podcast. And yet she's like, my landlord cut off the heat. What?
Yeah.
There's
Mr.
people.
Roper.
There's people who make like 30 grand a year who listen to this podcast who have their own homes, and you don't even have heat.
But you know from being in this business that being verified is nothing. You can still be poor.
Yeah, but you got to get some money. What's going on with you?
Okay, here's what's happening.
I'm worried about you. Hey, can we pray for Kate? Hey, Lord, please. Please
mean,
bless Kate here.
It's not like comics make a lot of money unless you're Dave Chappelle.
I disagree.
Jeff, you have like 4 TV shows.
Yeah, you do.
I make my money from TV. You're right.
Yeah, you don't make your money on the. I'm sure you make some money on the road, but I mean
From
like,
the TV because of
For
the
the TV.
show.
Exactly.
Yeah. Good argument.
My road money is like I make just enough to pay all my bills, and then anything extra I want is basically hooking at this point. Like
now we're talking.
No,
What?
I'm kidding. I haven't
All
hooked
this
yet.
sweet talk, I could have been paying her.
You know?
I will say that though, I don't want people to think that I'm being arrogant about money. You want to know the secret to be rich?
What is it?
Be cheap.
I can get you. People say, what's the secret? Well, I'll give you the secret. Don't get married and have kids. You know how much money you'll have?
Yeah, that's
He's
true.
right.
I'm divorced.
Don't get divorced.
Well, but that's the thing is all these divorced people, they all come to me and go, oh, hey, you're really smart. We're not saying love is bad, but she's going to take everything.
You're
Yeah,
right.
totally, she is.
You're right. That is huge. And
You
also,
want to save your money, just try to do it alone. Try to live your life alone.
I also think grocery shopping, because I don't know about you, but because I travel so much, I don't buy a lot of groceries because everything goes bad. Like I leave town all the time.
Right.
But then I notice I'm spending a shitload of money on food because I
Right.
eat out every day.
You eat nachos. You don't eat out every day. You
But
have
also,
nachos.
grocery stores aren't even any cheaper.
Well, it depends
It's
what you
cheaper if you
eat.
have a family.
Yeah.
I don't know because
Because you just said it. You said it always goes bad.
yeah, but see now what I started doing is buying things that I can freeze.
Well,
Like
you
I
can
buy-
freeze almost anything.
Like this is a meal for me. Are you ready? You're gonna
Oh, boy.
throw up. This is like my cooking.
Right.
Frozen vegetables. Heat them up in the microwave. Add tuna. Add like spaghetti sauce
bad.
or something red.
Spaghetti sauce.
Yeah, why is that bad?
I don't know because
Why would you think that'd make me throw up? I thought you were going to be like, get ready. I collect all my dog's hair, and I put it in a blender with a bunch of Jell-O and throw up.
really you don't
Like,
think
that
that's
would
bad?
make me puke.
All right, good. Then I feel
Yeah.
thank you. Well,
Vegetables, pasta,
no pasta. It's just frozen
spaghetti.
vegetables and canned fish.
Frozen.
Oh,
She's not even
yeah.
fresh vegetables.
I heat them up halfway till I heat them up until I can't wait any longer,
Yeah.
and then I eat it. Do you ever eat it still a little frozen?
You need to learn how to cook.
I don't use a microwave. I have never owned a microwave.
Wow.
But this is the Seattle in me, the hippie baby of Jeff Dye. Like, I'm a Seattle boy.
Yeah, you are from Seattle.
Yeah, I know I look like a douchebag, but I'm actually a Seattle.
You don't look like a douchebag.
Hippie.
You look like maybe he's gay until you talk to you.
Oh,
And
that's
you're
nice.
like, no, but that's a compliment.
yeah,
'cause
no,
that
I'll
means
take
you have,
that.
you have good
dress well.
clothes.
Yeah.
You have great clothes.
I
But
think people generally think, especially in this business, they're like, oh, this guy, he's probably some douchebag.
you think so?
I think that's the first impression.
Isn't that interesting? Because I actually wanted to talk to you about that. You didn't even let me intro you, by the way.
Oh,
but
sorry. Yeah, let's
For
go.
everyone at home, they're going to know because the title of the
fault.
podcast is going to be Jeff Dye. But Jeff is a fantastic comedian.
Thank
You've
you.
hosted so many TV shows. It's crazy. I was looking today. What's the name of the show you were on with Terry Bradshaw?
That's called Better Late Than Never.
That's what I thought.
We're still doing that.
They list you as like an actor on that show. So I was like, maybe
Well,
that's
yeah,
not
the
him.
internet's weird about that. They
Yeah.
don't know how to classify shows. Because they're
No.
like, well, it's not a reality show, but it's not a sitcom. They don't know what to do.
You guys are still
It's
doing
just
that
a travel
show?
show. Sort of. We're in between. Henry just won an Emmy. Henry Winkler just won an Emmy for
Really?
Barry. So he's getting tons of work. William Shatner is 87 years old. He keeps doing like all these like self-funded documentaries. He
He's
just went
87?
Yeah. And then Terry has got Fox Sports until the end of February because he's a broadcaster.
Yeah.
And then me and George Foreman are just ready to go.
What do you
let's get out of here.
like we're just sitting around with no
Yeah,
work.
we're like keep going. Hey guys, remember that show?
That's hilarious. Wait, I have so many questions
Yeah.
about this. So, William Shatner,
Yeah.
do you like him? Be honest.
Yes.
Is he a cool guy?
Actually, here's a hot take, and I hope that this gets shared. The man, I can't do this. Actually, you know what? I'm not gonna do it.
Why not?
Why?
Now
Some
you have
people
to.
might think that he is a jerk because of his Twitter,
Oh, I don't
but
follow his
you don't
Twitter.
have to pin that on William Shatner. Is all I'll say.
William
William Shatner is a great man
He
and
may
a
not
very
deal with his own Twitter.
very good guy. That's
Okay, that's what I was wondering because I've heard, you hear there's certain people
And in
in
the same way, if you
Hollywood-
go, William Shatner tweeted at me, don't get too excited. How about that?
a lot of celebrities do not handle their own.
Yeah, a lot of
social media.
88-year-old celebrities don't.
Especially,
Yeah,
he probably
87.
doesn't even know how. I've sat down with Dom Herrera before and given him like 2-hour-long tutoring sessions on how to
Right.
use social media, and he still can't figure
He's
it
like,
out.
does this count as a date?
And it does,
Yeah.
I think. All right. Well, I for one thing, I have to say, I was so excited to have you on. When I first met Jeff, I had the hugest crush on Jeff.
Me too.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, you too.
Both of you.
Yeah.
You know,
Thank
I
you.
could see that.
Totally.
And then I was like, "Who's that guy?" And then someone was like, "Oh, he's a comedian." And I was like, "Damn it," because I,
Yeah.
you know how.
What is your commitment to not dating comedians? I'd love to know that because I've heard it. I've heard many people say that. I've heard a lot of people do that. I've heard male comics say, "Oh, I never date a female comedian." I would never date a female comedian because most of them like girls.
That's hilarious.
That's a joke.
That's really funny.
But to be fair, there's not a huge pool to draw from. There's just less women doing comedy
Yeah,
than men.
that's true.
Whereas girls like funny guys, and there's a lot of men to pick from in the stand-up community. So what is your commitment to not dating stand-up comedians?
Well, the
Which
thing,
you've broke the rule many times.
I have broken the rule a
Many
couple times.
times.
A
No,
few times.
Many times.
A
I don't
few
know
times.
anything about your personal life, and
Yeah.
I can name 5.
No, you can't. There are not 5. Wait, hold on. How many have
Oh,
I
give it a
dated?
break.
3.
Dated.
Here's the thing: 5 over the course of how long you've been doing stand-up isn't that bad.
I haven't
great.
dated 5 comics.
Okay.
I may have hooked up with a
Yeah,
couple.
dating and
I think
hooking
that
up
counts.
is different.
As a difference.
Not to me.
To me, of course, you're such a dude.
Well, if I only count the ones I dated, I can say 0.
Yeah, totally.
See, I've actually dated a few, but I
Right.
haven't. I've hooked up like once with a couple.
Okay.
You know, like one night it happens or whatever.
Right. In
But-
the belly room, just kind of no one else is around.
Yeah, exactly. On stage during the show.
you're like,
How do you think
"Listen,
we packed those
I gotta
belly
kill
rooms?"
some times. My set's not for 45 minutes.
No, I've said it on here before, but the thing is, it's not that I don't like comics. I actually love, like, nothing's better for a comic than dating a comic
Yeah,
because
you know
get
the
it.
funniest people in the world.
Well, it's not
Isn't
even,
that nice? Even
yeah.
if we never get more successful than what we are right now, we get to be friends with the funniest people in the world.
Yeah.
What a treat.
It is true. Every once in a while, you do think about that, and then you're like anytime someone tries to tell me a story like a regular person, like
Ugh.
a grocery store clerk or something.
Snooze, right?
I mean, I feel almost guilty because in your head you're like, can you get to the punchline? Like,
Right.
when is
Yeah.
the yeah? Because
I'll go home for like the holidays. My family will tell some joke, and I'll roll my eyes like, hack.
Cut the fat, Dad.
Yeah,
Cut the
mom's
fat.
like, your father never puts the toilet seat down. It's like a hack. I've heard this a billion. What are you? Where's your suit coat with the sleeves pulled up, Ma?
That's why Jeff's family stopped inviting him to family
That is
dinner.
true.
So like enough of you.
I'll tell you an interesting story. In
Tell me.
2008, I went home for Christmas. I sit down on the couch, and my mom says, she looks over and she goes, there's this great new television program. It's so funny. It's called Big Bang Theory. Oh. I stood up. I walked out of the house, and we haven't spoken since.
Are you serious?
I am
I dropped my
gross
phone.
that I came out of her body.
That's so funny. I'm not going to say who the comic was, but I went on a date one time, not with a comic, with a regular dude.
Number
I'm not gonna
6.
tell you how
Number
the
6.
comic. You said I'm not going to tell you who the comic is.
Well, no, because the guy on the date, like right away, he was like, so you're a comedian? And I was like, yeah. And then he said, so-and-so is my favorite comic. And the comic he named is a comic I dislike so much.
Yeah, I've had that happen.
That I was like, oh, that's cool. Oh my God, I got a call. I'll be right
I have
back.
to
And I
leave.
ditched it.
Yeah, no,
literally.
I can totally
Yeah,
identify with that. I've had that happen on the other side of the fence, obviously.
I'm sure.
Well, you know what I get most on dates, and I'm not ashamed of, or this doesn't bother me, but it is comical how often it's happened in the last 2 years. I'm talking to a girl. I prefer to date beautiful women, right? That's just my taste. That's just
not
me.
many people
That's just my thing.
Yeah.
agree with you on
You know what
that.
I'm saying? I don't want to body shame anyone, but I like the real hot ones.
Yeah.
That's what I go for.
What, like blondes, brunettes, what?
No, just beautiful.
Just hot.
Anything.
Yeah, just beautiful.
hot. Yeah.
And I've probably heard this 75,000 times. Oh, you're a comedian? Do you know Chris D'Elia?
Oh.
I've heard that so much, and it doesn't
Really?
bother me, but it's quite a
That's
pattern.
What do you guys look
interesting.
alike?
Quite a
No,
pattern.
it's because all the chicks you're dating at bang Crystal.
Oh, absolutely,
Yeah,
or
that's
something
why-
like that. They all thought they were dating him.
Yeah, someone said to me one time, like every female comic has slept with, I think it was like Chris D'Elia, Adam Ray, or Dane Cook, and I was like so proud because I was like, oh my God, I haven't tapped any of those three. Like I feel
Right.
like proud of myself.
They were able to name 3 men you haven't had sex with.
That's
and you
a hat-
felt proud of yourself.
The hat trick.
Good for me. You know what's strange? They named 3 guys, and in my mind I go, I haven't had sex with them.
Whatever.
I'm doing pretty good.
Also, I didn't think Adam Ray was in that.
Adam's kind of hot.
No,
I
Adam's
think.
very attractive and charming and funny. There's no reason why every woman shouldn't love Adam Ray. I just didn't know he had the reputation of having a lot of sex.
I don't think he does. I think it's just because he's so handsome
Okay.
that they grouped him into that. I
These are all
would guess that's
white guys too. These are all white guys.
Right.
Adam Ray is such a like knight in shining armor to me. One time I went to a party at his house when I first met him. I went to a party at his house and another comic grabbed my ass or something, like slapped me on the ass. It was so not a big deal. I didn't
Right.
even.
You're so used to it.
Yeah, honestly.
It was Dane Cook.
It was no, it wasn't Dane. It wasn't Dane.
It was Brad Williams looking for the fridge.
Brad was there. No, but it was like a football tap on the ass. You
Right.
know?
Yeah.
It
it
was
was-
nothing.
you just got a first down or something like
Yeah,
that.
good game.
Yeah,
Good
yeah,
game.
touchdown score. So anyway, point is, I didn't remember that it even happened. And then like a few days later, that comedian, my phone rings and it's him. And he was calling to apologize. And I thought it was so weird because I was like, oh, I totally forgot you even did that, whatever.
Right.
And I found out later that Adam saw it and pulled him aside and was like, bro, that's super disrespectful. There's a lot
I
of
like
comics
that.
here." Yeah,
Yeah.
and he was like, if you don't apologize to her, you're not welcome here again.
Wow.
I couldn't believe it. So ever since then, I'm like, I tell everyone that story. I'm like, Adam.
I know
Ray
it must
is
have
a-
been not a very successful comedian because Adam's not going to uninvite a successful comedian. It's
No
not
comment.
like he's
Who was
pull-
it? Who was it?
It's not like he's
telling.
pulling aside, Doug Benson.
Hey,
You know,
man.
he's like, hey man, you're not welcome here anymore.
I don't know. I think he would say something.
Hey
though.
Chappelle.
You might be right. But to answer your question, why I won't date comics,
Yes.
it's just because. Well, have you dated any?
No,
It's,
Are you dating anybody now?
no.
Why?
Well, because I
Well, but dating or fucking? It's
Yeah,
two
yeah, yeah,
different
okay.
things.
I have sex. Yeah.
When was the last time you had sex?
Well, I'm not gonna.
This
answer that.
morning.
You look like you just had sex.
I always look like I just.
You're like,
He
oh,
keeps
I'm
the
gonna put this
hat on.
Kind
jacket
of my
on.
thing. That's
put
kind
this-
of my thing. It is hot in here. Yeah, I, you know, here's the thing. I'm just very upfront. Don't want anyone to get their feelings hurt. I don't want anyone to go. But you said, I'm always like, hey, you know, I'm not looking. I don't know if I'm ever gonna have children. Probably
Yeah,
not.
probably not.
And I don't think I'm ever gonna get married. 99% sure. I'm just keeping it 99 because
Yeah.
who knows? Things might change. 10 years from
Yeah.
now, I might whatever. But I don't want anyone to be like think I'm leading them on. However, there's plenty of women all over the world who are in the same position as me.
Yeah.
It's true.
Are we just all supposed to be abstinent? Are we
Yeah.
supposed to just never have sex?
Yeah.
No. You should have sex.
Totally.
All humans should be having sex
Every day.
Makes you feel good. Even animals. You know, like if your dog hasn't got laid, the next time you think about your dog at home, when's the last time you saw another dog? Take him to a dog park. Let him get a little action.
How do you get your dog laid if you don't
Take him to a dog park. My dog humps everything at the dog park.
Really?
Yeah. And you know what's funny is this is a separate thing, but that's
Great.
to answer your question.
Yeah.
Is I have sex, but I haven't had a girlfriend, and you know, I don't want to talk about that. So I don't want to put a number on
Is it
that,
depressing?
and then someone being like, "Wow, what are you?"
Oh yeah,
fucking-"
don't do
yeah.
that.
Don't
Don't
do
do that.
No, but so one time I was dating this girl, probably the only woman I've ever loved, and she's just so nice, and she's just so like everything about her is just reeks kindness, and she comes home, and she's like, I'm so stressed out, and I was like, oh no, like are we having a baby? Like what's going on? Like what are you stressed out about?
Yeah.
She's like, I was thinking about Mister, which is my dog's name, and he needs sex. And I was like,
Shut
what?
up.
This is what you've been racking your brain about all day? Not money troubles.
She's-
Not like she was just really
Aw.
stressed that the dog hadn't had sex. And I was like, what are you talking about? And she's like, well, we need to take him somewhere where he can like have sex. Like, wouldn't you be sad if you didn't have sex for a long time? And I was like, yeah, I guess, but I'm not a dog either.
She
We're
jerked
also
him
talking
off.
about yeah, exactly. We're also talking about a guy that like, we're talking about a creature that like eats its own shit. Like, what
Yeah.
are we? I don't know why you're so.
They do not.
Mine does.
They
My
don't eat
dog's
their
a
own shit.
rascal.
What's
wrong
He'll
with
eat
your
anything.
They eat grass and then shit and then
Yeah.
grass and then throw it up.
My dog will eat rocks.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
My
thought
dog,
cats
you know,
ate
like
that.
you let your mouth decide. You'll put something in your mouth and go, oh, that's yucky, and you'll spit it out.
Yeah, but I've never eaten
if
my
you-
own shit
I know.
before.
I'm going somewhere with this. But if you like it,
Yeah.
you swallow it.
Yeah.
My dog lets the stomach do the deciding.
Oh.
He puts it in, and then the stomach goes rejection, and then he put like it's like his mouth doesn't work. He just puts it in there. It's like, oh, glass, can't eat glass. It's so weird.
No
I think
taste
that
buds.
all dogs do that because, like, my friend Krista bought a 45-pound bag of dog treats the other day, and she accidentally left it like where her dog could
Right.
get to it, and her dog ate the entire thing.
Right. What,
Yeah.
45 pounds.
45 pounds of dog treats.
Yeah.
That's like how much her dog weighs, like 10 pounds
Yeah.
maybe.
We're gonna miss him.
Yeah.
We're gonna really
The
miss
dog's
him.
gone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
send
she
out
said he was really sick.
big prayers to that dog.
Wait a second. So is your dog spayed or neutered or whatever?
Yeah.
So he still humps?
Yeah, dude, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if you neuter me, I'm still gonna want to have sex.
When you
Totally.
neuter a dog, what do you do to it exactly?
It's like a vasectomy.
Yeah, that's all it is.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
you
it.
still hump.
How are you this age and you just found this out?
I thought that I don't want to say what I thought you did to him because actually now thinking
Isn't
about
it-
it, it's terrible.
Isn't it fascinating that people will know all 50 states?
There's 50?
They'll know multiplication.
I'm gonna be
They'll know
honest.
the capitals. They'll know all the presidents. And if you don't know some of that stuff, they'll be like, "What are you, an idiot?"
Yeah.
But then they don't know things like this.
I'm really bad with the whole reproductive process. Like I just
Right.
finally researched how babies are made really because I
Right.
wanted to be sure I knew it all like well.
What?
Well, okay, that works out handy because babies are made in your mouth.
I know
So
that.
let's try to have a baby.
Oh, that's really funny. Well, I mean, okay.
I heard the G spot's back here. So
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the reason that I quit dating comics is just basically because it sucks when you run into them.
Sure.
If it ends bad.
yeah,
That's the whole
you don't
thing.
shit where you eat.
But you know what I realized in this town that I'm starting to realize at least? It doesn't matter if it's a comic because the entertainment business is so small. Even like the last guy I dated wasn't a comic, but he knows so many comics. It might as well have been a comic.
Right.
Like I just feel like everyone is 1 degree away from everyone.
Right. That's why you just have to be super responsible about the breakup, or if you just don't let things end poorly.
Yeah.
That's impossible.
That's how I feel. But I think that I think what I said is technically the right answer.
Yeah.
No, what I mean is like you can do. I always do my best to make sure they end well. Jack knows that.
Yeah.
I do my best, but sometimes somebody just is like, "Fuck you, I'm out," and
Yeah.
never talks to you again.
Oh, 100%. You know, and interesting. I won't say any names. Unless you guys want me to.
Brenda.
I don't give a shit. Yeah, I'll
say
say
it.
some names.
Say whatever
There
you
is so something that men often get accused of doing to women has happened to me in this business like at least 5 times from very high level female comedians.
What's that?
So you know how like people will be like, oh, just because I won't have sex with him, he's like mean to me, or he ignores me, or he got his little feelings hurt because I don't
Yes.
want to have sex with him.
Butt hurt.
I've had that happen with female comedians. And they've even admitted to it. They've been like, I can't be around you. Like, I'm so attracted to you and like I want to hang out with you and stuff like that. But if you're gonna like, literally, I've had girls verbalize that via text.
Are
Because I
you
was like, what's your
serious?
problem? Like, why are you being like weird to me? Like, I thought we were friends. And they're like, I just can't. I can't be around you. And I was like, oh, interesting that you got little fragile. Like, if a guy did this exact behavior,
Yeah,
you would
right.
think he's a douche.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I wouldn't think he was a douche if he said it like that. If he said, I can't be around.
well,
I can't
I'm
hang
being
out.
real delicate on what she actually said.
Yeah, she
Well, I
probably
mean-
was.
I
want
had
it,
to like
I want
drag it out of her. Like, why are you being shitty to me? And then she's like, well, it comes down to like when we lived in New York and like I liked you and you didn't like me back and blah, blah, blah.
Oh my
And then you started talking to me again the other day when I had you on whatever. And now,
But did you guys ever hook up at all?
no.
Oh, okay, then that's weird. Yeah, that's weird for a girl to be like that.
I'm also pulling the same card that girls pull. Where they're like, well, can't we just be friends? Even though I know
It's gonna happen.
that they like me or whatever.
Oh, then
Do
you're
you know what I'm
like,
saying?
no.
Because
Yeah.
I like the attention. We're humans. We
Yeah.
like attention.
Everybody likes the
So
attention.
we're both,
but-
I've reversed the gender roles. However, I just
Do you
think
know
it's
how
annoying.
hot you have to be able to reverse
Yeah,
that?
you have sex a lot.
Yeah,
Here's the
like
thing.
no guys have this problem but you.
It's not a problem, and also I don't think it's that I'm hot. I think we should put a pin in that. I am only hot because I'm a stand-up comedian.
That is not true.
That is true.
No, it isn't.
Like,
that helps.
I went to a modeling thing one time, like for this Revlon commercial. That
Of course
Catherine
you did.
Bigelow was booking.
Revlon.
Yeah, Catherine Bigelow was like in love with me like 10 years ago.
Who the fuck is Captain Bigelow?
Catherine Bigelow, she like directed The Hurt Locker. She
Oh,
made one of my
Catherine. I
favorite
thought you said
movies ever.
Captain.
She made Point Break.
Okay.
The original, not the
wow.
remake.
Got it.
The
All
best
right.
movie. So she was like, she's like, he's so funny and silly and blah blah blah. Bring him in for this thing. And it was just me and like 10 of the hottest dudes you've ever seen in your life. And I walked in and I was just like, oh God, I should be shoveling coal for these people. Like when I walk into a stand-up comedy club, I feel very confident. I feel like, oh, these are my friends, but
yeah.
also I feel attractive here. When I walked in that room, literally
get
when I
it.
walked in, they were like, back to the shadows, ugly. Like they were like upset with me for being there.
You know what that was like for me? Dan Bilzerian's Ignite party. I went to
Yes.
Dan Bilzerian's house, and like, yeah, at a comedy club, you're like, oh, I'm like one of the
Right.
cutest chicks. Then you go to Dan's house, and you're like, fucking kill me. Like every
Right, and
girl.
all the models are like, she must be funny or something.
Exactly, literally. In fact, one of them was so bitchy to me. Like, she literally looked me up and down, like, why is she here? And then someone was like, do you know who she is? She's so funny. She's a comedian.
Right.
And then it changed her whole. She was like, oh my God,
I
you're
love
a
funny girls.
that's
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Well, and that's the thing is like, I don't want people going around thinking like, oh, Jeff Dye thinks he's so. I don't. I do not. That's not
No,
how
no,
I
no,
view
no.
myself.
You have never come off
just in
that
a
way.
business full of fat guys with beards who are like, no one wants to fuck me.
Thanks,
Like,
man.
that's-
Thanks, man.
No, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I'll go up after all these other comics and like,
It's true.
the comics hate me.
Yeah.
The audience hates me right away. Like,
Is
everyone's
this
just.
true
Yeah.
that you get that too? Because I was going to ask you that.
Yeah, of
if
course.
it's the same for you.
And it's not just my battle. It's a lot of comics battle. It's your
But I
battle, Josh Wolf's battle, Adam, right? Dane Cook probably had that for in the beginning, and
Really?
yeah, I think if you're even, this is a business for people to.
That's interesting.
complain.
I've
They
never thought that.
judge good looking people right away.
Yeah.
Because, like, oh, this guy's going to be
different.
funny and good looking. Fuck
Right.
him, you know?
Well, like Ryan Stout was just telling me about it on my podcast, his Jeff Dye's Friendship podcast.
Yeah.
He was
Check it out,
saying
guys.
like when he wears a suit, he wants the audience to believe like, oh, if he prepared for this, he's probably prepared something great for us to hear. So it makes them listen more. And then he goes, and then the housing market crashed, and then all the bankers came, and now people see a guy in a suit or
And they're
at
like,
that
"Fuck that
point,
guy."
and they're like, yeah, that's the guy.
That is
who-"
interesting.
So, you know, there's lots of little battles in our business. And I also don't think that comics are supposed to be ugly. I hate that idea.
I don't either.
A lot of people like, who was it? Jeff Ross said that to me the first day I moved to LA, like in 2008, I think. He was like, oh, you're too good looking to be a comedian. And I was like, that's not true.
Yeah.
But people
Johnny
are just-
Carson was handsome.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. There's
like,
always been
famously.
There's
There's
always been
great.
handsome. I don't think that comedians have always been ugly. I just think that some people are like, it's not fair. It's another, like I used to get so much shit for posting like whatever.
Yeah. No,
bikini
I remember
photos,
people would talk
right?
trash about it. I defended your honor.
Oh, well, thank you.
I did.
I
But
just watched the picture.
I liked it, yeah.
But I mean, the thing about it is, I'm like, it's no different from Brad talking about being a midget. That's his. He's a midget, so it's or dwarf. whatever.
Yeah, wow.
He says midget.
The M word 3 times.
Brad says midget, so we are allowed.
We
says
apologize.
He says midget.
He says dwarf and little people.
No, he doesn't. He says midget.
All right, let's text him. Let's see
all
who's
the
right.
time. Trust me, I know. He comes on
edit this
stage.
out, edit this
He
out.
says midget. You know,
10 years later, you said midget.
you know how I know he says midget? Because he gets angry mail from dwarfs for saying midget.
Oh, really? Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
but
But he could
probably-
say it. It's like the black word and
It's
the
like
N-word.
the N-word.
Right.
We can't say it.
It's like
Yeah.
the N-word. No, I can say it.
You can say it?
I meant at my house or shouting from a car window, not now.
I'm looking.
Yeah.
Up. It is funny though that you were talking about girls being butthurt or offended that you didn't want to hook up with them, because that's what I sent you this. But the one night right around my birthday, I posted like, "Hey comics, stop asking me out. I'm out of the
Right.
game" or something. And I went to the Comedy Store the next night, and it was so awkward because like 2 or 3 of the comedians, I pretty much posted that for like a couple particular people. They were there, and one of them came up to me and was like, "So am I even allowed to talk to you? Should I like he
You're like,
was
it'd be
so-
best if you didn't.
Yeah, but
I
it-
can only be direct on Facebook, so
but that's what's so hard. It's just like, what is the nicest way you think to reject someone?
well,
Fuck
I
them.
don't know.
And then
Fuck
say, that's
them?
it.
Jack,
One time only.
Yeah, this is it. That's
good
no,
advice.
No,
Strong advice.
No, I'm not
Jay
doing
coming in with the save.
bad. That's
Yeah.
terrible advice.
No, I think, well, and also like being a man, that's a loose term, being a man-child. I find it fascinating that like women almost never get rejected.
That's
So-
not true.
Nah, well, not sex.
We
Not when
all
they put
get
it out there.
rejected.
When women generally put it out
We
there.
don't get rejected for sex, but we
That's
get
what
rejected.
I'm suggesting. So when you
Yeah.
reject a
Oh.
woman for sex, it's quite an ego blow. Whereas if like let's say I was coming
That's
on very
true.
hard to you and you rejected me, I'd just be used to it. I'd be like,
Yeah.
yeah, this is
Oh,
how
well.
this works.
Yeah.
You're right.
It would have been great if it happened, but it didn't. So I'll call my buddies and we'll go get some nachos.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of how we think about
Yeah.
it. It's not a huge ego blow.
No.
We've been being rejected since puberty hit.
You're right.
Whereas women have learned I can have sex anytime I want, if I want.
Yeah.
And so when you say to a girl like, "Oh, I'm not feeling that," or like, "No, I don't want it to be like that," they're like, "What?" They either think you're the nicest guy in the world, or they're like, "Oh, what am I ugly?" or what? They go through this tailspin of emotions.
If a guy turns me down for sex, this is so arrogant probably, but it's the truth. I either think he's gay,
right,
or I'm like, if he's not, it is ego shattering. If
Right.
he's straight and he turns you down for sex, yeah, you're like,
Right.
what the fuck? Like, what the fuck is wrong? Like, what do I need to do? Like, should I hit the gym harder? Like, it does make
Right.
you totally
Of course.
question everything.
it never happens to women.
It
They
does.
don't
It's
know how
happened to
explain.
me.
Well, it
It's happened
happens,
to
but
me.
I'm saying like,
It's happened to you.
Yeah, but not the first time.
Okay,
But yeah,
let's
I've
talk
had
about
guys.
that.
I've
Yeah.
had guys turn down
I mean,
sex.
not the first time. What does
What
that
I
mean?
mean is like every
Yeah.
guy wants to fuck you once out of curiosity. But I've had
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
yeah,
Curiosity.
yeah, you know what
Well,
I mean.
what does it feel like?
Curious.
Aren't you? Don't you? Have you ever fucked someone out of curiosity?
No.
Really?
Yeah.
talking
Hey,
about?
what does your pussy feel like?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go in
Seems
there.
Curious.
That's very lippy.
Yeah, no, I just be.
Really? I just thought every guy, like, if a girl's down to fuck, you'd be like curious, like, what's that one gonna be?
I guess
like?
it's just a weird word choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Every guy just always wants to fuck.
Not
Right.
for me. Like to me, like fucking, like a guy in a wheelchair would be like out of.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Out of
then I
curiosity.
totally disagree with you.
Yeah.
I went from thinking like maybe it's just semantics, like I know what she's trying to say, but the words are wrong. And then you're like, a wheelchair. I was like,
like,
nah,
nah.
never thought that.
All right, whatever. But
I don't like her to be broken.
Fuck a
you've
midget.
never thought about that? I've thought about guys in wheel.
I'd be like, oh, there she is.
All right, well, never mind.
Roll
then.
her in here.
How would that work?
I guess what I meant was like, there's been guys before that I've been like casually hooking up with, and then one night I'll like want to, and they're like, nah, I'm not really feeling like it tonight. And
Oh, I see what you're
that's
saying.
when
So you're
I'm-
already hooking up with them.
Yes.
So it's never happened
Yeah.
on the first time they tried that you wanted to.
I've gotten turned down for like, actually, yeah, there was one guy that did that to me.
Because
There
in New
is.
York, I had girls. They would be like, "Can I come up?" And I'm like, "Nah." And they're like, "What do you mean, nah?" And it's like,
Why would you
I don't
say
want.
no? Why?
I don't because I don't want to. I have Jeff
Why are
has
you
sex
out with them in
who
the
he
first
wants
place?
to have sex
Why?
with.
But why you?
I don't have sex with who I can have sex
But
with.
wait, these girls, have you made out with them or anything?
No, I mean we just went out.
And you said nah.
Yeah, I'm like,
Because you just weren't
Not
feeling.
feeling it.
Go see Jack.
yeah. I'll just give him here's an address
I'll meet you there.
of a guy.
Okay,
He's
Great
coming.
guy.
I'll tell you what has happened to me before,
Okay.
like when I've gotten turned down.
Does this count as a date fail?
This would be a date
hashtag
fail.
date
yeah.
fail?
Like for instance, there
Good
was
for branding.
yes, thank you, Jeff.
Sponsors.
There was one guy I actually slid into his DMs. He was
Okay.
so hot.
Right, Ultimate Fighter.
He wasn't a fighter, no, but you're
Rapper.
in the right
Right.
category.
Boxer.
So anyway, I slide in his DMs.
Athlete.
We go out.
Right.
We go out once by ourselves. Then
NBA.
once I go meet up with him. Shut up, Jeff. Then once I go meet up with him out with a group, okay? Now, like the night I go to meet up with him with the group, I felt like he was like disrespecting me because he was like coming up and he was flirting me and like kissing me, making out with me, all this shit. But then he would like leave, and then like 2 seconds later, I'd see him like getting a waitress's number or like we were
Right.
like right. So I laughed.
Very cool guy.
Yeah, not the best.
Super
dude.
cool guy.
Smooth. R. Kelly.
Couldn't even stop while he's on the date.
Right, but it wasn't really
Hey, you
technically
see
a
that
date.
hot blonde down there that I was making out with? You know I'm not really with her. How about
Yeah.
your number?
That could be you.
But to be fair,
Oh, and also Jameson Neat, if you could hurry up with the order.
to be fair to him though, it wasn't really a date like that night happened. He was just like, "Oh, I'm at this party. You should come through." So
Yeah, I know.
it wasn't a date, but anyway, so I left. And then he kept texting me all like, "Yo, why'd you leave? I was totally planning to leave with you." And I was like,
Oh, I
felt
remember this story.
disrespected. Yeah. So, so then he kind of like was like, "Look, I'm sorry. I definitely want to kick it with you." And I got all on my high horse, like, "No, you know what? I'm over it. Whatever."
Yeah.
Well, then
I'm
it- fast
done with
forward
being
a-
treated like this.
Yeah, but then fast forward a couple days later, and this was still in my fuckboy phase, and I was like just really horny,
Yeah.
and we had made out, and I just knew. You know when you make out with someone, you're like, "Oh, the sex is gonna be like
Amazing.
fire."
That's tricky, but okay.
Not for me. So I knew. Okay.
Yeah.
Like there's certain things a guy can do that you're like, "Oh shit."
Like his
Right.
finger in your vagina
Yeah.
while you're
He-
making out.
Something.
He had a vibrating tongue.
Anyway,
His tongue had a huge head on it.
Yeah.
something like that. So point is, then I hit him up, and I was like, "Hey, what are you up to tonight?" And he was like, "Oh, now you trying to get it in?"
Oh.
And he gave the attitude
good,
back.
Good for him.
Yeah, and then I was like,
Kudos.
I just wanted to get a drink, whatever. And then he totally wouldn't go out with me after that. So actually, that guy became for a while like a mission for me. I was like, no, I'm fucking this guy.
Yeah.
Like all I wanted to
What
do.
an interesting game.
Yeah, but then I never did. And then, you know, it's still to this day, that was years ago. It's still to this day, like every once in a while, he'll like leave a comment on my Instagram or
And that'll give you a
some
little
shit.
little drip of endorphins of ooh,
No.
maybe I'm back in the game.
No, because now I've changed. Now I've
Right,
changed.
yeah,
I have.
that was a phase.
It was. It
Yeah,
really was. I
right.
think I've changed. I blew off like I've been blowing off
You've
like
been blowing.
no. I've been blowing off guys that I normally would have like tripped over myself to get to. So
Really?
no, yeah.
Well,
definitely
good for
changed.
you.
I've
What
changed.
what a noble change. Sorry, dudes. Sorry, fellas out
It is
there
a
that
good
might enjoy
change.
the company of Kate Quigley.
New year,
You're
new
being
Kate.
robbed of it.
It's not-
I feel like in 2019, I'd like to be a prude.
I hate you. No, it's not that. It's just I have this new thing. Like if a guy won't, for instance, like if a guy won't make plans, like I'm not gonna go out with him.
Right.
Like if somebody hits me up last minute, I'm not gonna go out with them. Not like at the beginning. Like I'm
Yeah.
trying to be like more like
a girl.
set a standard.
Like a girl. Like,
That's it.
Yeah.
you
yeah.
want to go on a dinner
Well.
first.
Isn't
now.
that good? Don't you think that's,
That's good.
good?
I don't care either way. To
All
be
right.
honest, do whatever you
Do
want.
you plan dates?
No,
Yeah, you just.
I don't.
I don't believe you.
I don't plan anything.
You're like,
You really
I'm gonna wear
don't?
my jacket and my
Not
scarf.
really. Like,
You plan friend hang. You've hit me up before and been like, "Where are you watching the Cubs game
yeah,
tomorrow?"
we play. Like I do those kind of plans.
Yeah.
That's not a
Planning.
formal date.
Yeah.
No, I know, but I'm saying so that's what's funny to me. Guys will make plans when it's not a date, but they like freak out about planning if it's a date.
Right. When also double standards and these kind of things we could talk about all day because it's just how it goes.
No, but I'm curious why guys freak out.
I'm curious why a girl will have sex with you before she even follows you on Instagram. I'm curious why you have to be with a girl super long before she'll post a photo of you in her
Wait,
Instagram
can we go back
with
to
you.
this
I
Instagram
am curious
thing?
why girls think
I
it's
wanna know
okay
these
to
things.
talk to 75,000 dudes in their phone as long as no one else knows, but it's fine. It's not okay for you to talk to more than one
Yeah.
girl in your phone.
That's
the,
not
the
true.
double standards are all over the map.
Dude, I like that. Whatever he just said.
Yeah, but okay, but I mean, those all have answers. Like, why would
Especially
it-
with females in comedy, they always go like, "Oh, there's all these double standards." Yeah, the double standards have existed for ages.
Okay, but okay, hold on.
right.
But my question is, those things, some of them make sense. Like, why would you sleep with someone you don't follow on Instagram? Sometimes when I'm dating somebody, I don't follow them on Instagram because I don't want to have the like
The other
fights
guys that you're
of-
hooking up with
Yeah.
notice.
No, because I don't want to have those fights that come from social media where like you go, "Who's this bitch? Who's that?"
But who would do that?
Guys do it all the time. I've dated guys that unfollow me because they're like, I get too jealous of whatever they're seeing on Instagram. So I get it.
I have never once went to a girl that I've dated, hooked up with, or even liked, and looked at who they follow. Ever. I look at their images.
Yeah.
If they're posting a
course.
photo of them with kissing a guy or something, that might spark some jealousy or something.
Yeah.
But I've never gone, who are they following? Like, what world?
But
That would take forever.
Yeah, and also, you could be anyone.
Yeah.
You look at that guy, you go, I don't know. He's got a bunch of photos of him alone,
Yeah,
too.
he's
on his.
private. Shit.
But I think that you, because of what you do for a living, it might be slightly different for you
Maybe.
than for, because I feel like I don't get jealous about Instagram and stuff as much as some of my girlfriends do, because I think I get that, like, you don't know everybody that's saying how great you are on your Insta. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't really matter.
Like, sometimes I'll do, like, a radio show, and they'll have, like, a porn star in there or something, and then all of a sudden that girl's like, oh, mama, follow me on Insta. What am I going to be like? No, gross.
Yeah.
And then I'll just, like, follow it,
Yeah.
and then, like, I'll wait a week and then unfollow
Unfollow
it.
it.
But, like, also, like, I guess that, if I was married, it would be like, why'd you follow a porn star?
star.
Like, yeah, listen,
Maybe.
stupid. I was
Maybe
on a
not.
radio show.
Or maybe you'll be married to someone who's like, what's up with this porn star? Threesome? You don't know.
I love when women make up this hypothetical woman who
It's
is
true.
just chill and doesn't get jealous
Yeah.
about anything.
Doesn't
and
exist.
then there's zero women
Everybody
like that.
gets jealous about some things, but some girls are not as. I mean,
Anytime I got in a fight with my last girlfriend,
Ages ago.
well, no, this is the when I say the last woman that I loved.
Oh, okay.
People would I would vent to friends or something. I'd be like, man, she's like grilling me about stupid stuff, you know? And they'll be like, sounds like you need to find someone. I was like, oh, seriously, you should just break up with this woman
Yeah.
altogether and find some mystery gal that's out in the ether that doesn't get jealous about these sort of things. She has other great qualities.
Yeah, yeah.
This is just one quality I hate about her, and I wanted to vent to you about it. This end all be all. You need to meet a woman who wouldn't care about that. Oh,
There's
are
no
you that
perfect,
gal,
you're right.
manager of Zanies, giving me green room advice?
manager of Zanies. Shout out Zanies.
It's always some sort of like women always. That's their wisdom.
I do-
You need to find a gal that. Oh, I'll just end this.
Yeah.
I totally agree that there's no such thing as a perfect person.
everyone's fucked
and
up.
everyone's going to get a little jealous of some things sometimes.
Yeah.
Everybody, I don't know. For me personally, I watch for changes. Like, for instance, if I date a guy that's very flirty with everybody all the time, I know that going in. So then if that's how he is, it's like, that's just how he is.
Yeah.
But if the guy's not like that, then he starts acting like that. I think that's what freaks me out. Like, when something changes and you go, oh, why is he suddenly hitting on these chicks in front of me? He didn't used to do that.
Right.
That's what freaks me out. Like,
This is a game. Guys do that.
fuck the game.
Maybe
I
that.
hate the
Oh,
game.
you were just talking about
Yeah.
the game. About it became my mission to get him.
That was old
because
Kate.
he put me off, and then when I wanted him, he said no.
Time out.
That is the game.
Game.
That was
ding
like
dong.
3 years ago.
That's
Okay.
a game.
That was a long time ago. I don't
Comes
play the
back.
game anymore. No more game. In fact, I even will tell guys, I'm not doing the game. Here's the deal. And I'll just say it.
Yeah, straight to nudes.
No, I don't send
Here's
nudes.
the
I don't
deal.
send nudes anymore either.
Really?
No, because I'm scared of them leaking.
I'm all over the nudes.
You send a lot of nudes.
Not me.
Yeah, right.
I said I'm all about getting the nudes.
Well, every guy wants to get nudes. I'm looking through the questions. Jeff, I got questions for
Oh,
you.
okay.
Some people sent
Cool.
questions.
Let's
Wait a
hear
second.
some questions.
Okay.
Some date fail questions.
All right. Hang on. There was a really good one someone sent. Where is that one?
It's a good picture of you, Kate.
Oh, thank you. I like it. Michael Falco took that. This one's hilarious. How do you keep your teeth so white?
Oh, that's nice. I'm actually really, my only body dysmorphia is about my teeth.
Really?
Yeah, I brush my teeth a lot during the day. I use a lot of mouth. I'm pretty obsessed with. I feel like they're not as white as I want them. Actually,
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
Well, then look at that.
I
That was a
know.
good compliment for you.
that's nice. Thank you.
This is not about dating, but this is interesting. Someone said, have you ever lost your passion for stand-up along the way, and how did you push through it? That's a good
I have never. But there's been times I've been burnt out of the road.
yeah.
Where I'm just like, I can't do this anymore. But then when I come home from the road, I still go to the Improv or Comedy Magic or something.
Hey.
However, no, I've never not wanted it. I think it's the only thing I've ever been obsessed with.
Yeah, I don't think I've had,
If someone said I had to choose between having sex and doing stand-up comedy, I would choose stand-up comedy.
for the rest of your life,
Because
or
you
like
could
once?
still have sex after the show.
No. I am not doing this job for the sex or for the notoriety or for the money. I am so obsessed with it, and I've tried to think about this over and over, like, what is it about this that makes it so good? And I think the reason it is because all humans are looking to be heard. So there's millions of husbands and wives all over the world that don't feel heard. There's millions of teachers that are like, these dumb kids don't listen to me. Like everyone, that's why social media got so famous, is because you might look like a negative place where people are like venting about Donald Trump and hatred and racism, but it's because they have no place to be heard. You can't go to a grocery store and just shout, like, Sessions is taking away my right to, like, you can't do that.
You're right.
But it's a safe place to spew your bullcrap is Facebook and these places, and that's why people use it for that. Whereas stand-ups, we get heard every night. Not to mention, most of the time we're wrong. Most of the time we're stupid. Most of the time we're immature. Like, comedy's not that deep.
Yeah.
No.
But it's a healthy place for people who don't know how to connect socially and probably had a rough start to be heard every night and be affirmed by an audience of people.
Dude, I couldn't agree more. Plus, I feel like stand-up has made me better in so many other parts of my life.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need as much attention as I used to.
Because
I
you're
don't
getting
need-
it every single night.
Yeah, exactly. Totally.
That's why I'm so happy being single. It's like, I'm like, what more do I need?
Yeah.
Oh, now I need to come home and talk more about myself? I don't need that.
That's how I am
I'm
lately.
already talking way too much about Jeff.
That's how I am lately. But do you ever worry, like, lately, I did No Dick November, right? And then
I also have been doing that.
yeah.
We're doing pretty good.
So easy.
But it really started in
33
October.
years.
Yeah, I'm crushing it on
Well, I
no
touched my
dick.
dick. Does my
No,
dick
no, that
November?
doesn't
No,
count.
your dick doesn't
No,
count.
you can have sex with your hand deep,
Do
dude.
you
Perfect.
realize how long it's been? I thought about this the other
How long?
day because The Wizard was the beginning of October
Wizard?
that ended. The musician,
Oh.
Rod Stewart. So it's been 3 months.
Since you've had dick?
Yeah, but
Yes.
also we have to use what? Your honor system?
Yeah.
Like, so what?
I wouldn't lie. I don't lie
believe
on here.
or not
No, it really
believe you.
has. Jack knows.
It could be, and it also
I don't know. I'm
might
not there all the
not
time.
Who would I?
Right.
Wait, I'm thinking. No, since him, nobody.
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 be. Yeah, it doesn't
Isn't that
impress
sad?
me. No, it doesn't impress me.
We need to put a GoPro in your pussy so we know if anyone
Yeah.
goes in there.
Check it. That's a good idea.
Great.
They make them really small. It's not a huge deal. Don't picture the old generation, first generation. I feel like you're giving Jack a bad name. Like he's
GoPro.
picturing like a big.
Like a
No, the modern
5D
ones. You know, these
camera.
little kind.
That's what I was thinking.
The ones that
I
are
was like,
in your
"Oh."
phone.
No, like a
it's
small
like so
GoPro.
small, you know.
Just so we know what's going on.
Yeah, thanks, Jack. That's a
problem.
great, like a security
A
cam.
security
And it's
camera.
black
Yeah,
and
just so we
white.
can
it's all
trust you.
fuzzy.
Like those door cams.
Fuzzy.
Like those door
It
cams.
shouldn't be fuzzy.
You know those door cams? You go to the door, ding dong, and then
Yeah,
it's,
yeah.
it's a big dick going.
It's
Like,
the,
no!
It's called the vagina ring.
The vagina ring.
Well, my point is, it's been so long, and then now, like, every time a guy asks me out, I'm like, it's so much work. I don't even miss it anymore. So now I'm worried sometimes that
Yeah.
I'm like done.
Yeah.
Maybe you are
it's
done.
good for you.
Yeah.
What if
and
I-
also, like, so many girls want credit for that. Like, I don't know how many girls are like, God, I'm sorry, it's been so long. Like, I'm gonna be like, ooh, it's been so long. You're a good girl.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? I don't work for the church, and I
Yeah.
don't give away ribbons because you've
That's
held out on
not
sex
the
so
point.
long.
Yeah.
That's not the point. It's just for someone like me who's always dating someone to go 3 months and not even go on a date with somebody is
Yeah.
like,
But another reason I'm not going to give you any credit for this is because you decide when you want to.
Yeah.
So if you're like, isn't it sad? It's because you didn't want
I'm
to.
not saying it's sad that I haven't dated in 3 months. I did it on purpose. I'm saying I worry sometimes that I'm never going to want to again.
Right.
No, you'll want to.
Yeah.
I think.
This show's called Date Phase.
Yeah.
Well, I already had a
For a
date
reason.
fail on New Year's Eve, but I'm going to talk about that on Leave.
That wasn't that long ago.
Yeah, that was 4
Your
days ago.
commitment to
I know, but I didn't go out. The fail was the date didn't happen. So
Oh, I see. That
yeah.
makes sense.
All right, hold on. There was one more I wanted to ask you. Where the fuck is it? This is a good one. What's your best and worst pickup line, Jeff?
Oh, well, you know, it's an interesting thing. So I one time on I don't know if it was my podcast or wherever, I told the best lines that I would use, like on dating apps or on a text message, and then everyone started using them and like messaging me like, bro, that works like so good, and I was like, yeah, I'm a comedian, you know, we're pretty good at this, and then I used it recently, and a girl goes, "Oh God, that line." I was like, "I wrote this line."
That's actually hilarious. So yeah, maybe you don't
So
wanna
I'm
give it
nervous
away.
to give away the gold.
don't give
I'll
away the
give you.
gold.
I'll give you. I won't give the number ones, but some of the things I'll use is, "Hey, it looks like we matched," because it's like on Raya, not the others, but it'll work on that. "Hey, looks like we matched. I need you to immediately delete all of your sexy photos and take down your page."
That's cute. That's a good one.
It shows commitment.
Yeah.
It shows.
Dude, I matched with
like
you right
very
now.
position, like it shows like you're possessional, like flirtatiously possessiony of
Pretty
the
good.
person. Yeah, and it's also a joke, so it's silly.
Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah, and my worst pickup line.
Yeah. Who has their Who knows their worst one?
I know. I think
It's a hard one.
maybe think of something I said a long time ago or something. I used to. So I don't know if this counts, but it's true. It's vulnerable. When I was in junior high and elementary school and high school, I didn't have sex till I was 21. And I was a real virgin too, not like girls nowadays who are like,
doing it in the
I'm
butt?
saving myself for marriage. I mean, I'll suck your dick in my car. You're like, oh yeah, what a hero. The Lord is shining on us, isn't he? Well, good loophole you found. I'm sure God doesn't care about that in the back of your Corolla. Like, yeah, that's totally okay.
No comment.
Those are the best girls.
No comment. No, I'm just saying the idea
No,
of like
you're right.
purity.
I agree. I agree.
Don't get me on. God bless you, gals, if you're doing that.
I love
You're
Corollas.
doing good stuff. Yeah, I'm not mad about that. I'm just saying you don't get to brag.
Corolla, the official car of blowjob.
You can't be like,
Or Honda. Doesn't matter.
I saved myself. I'm a virgin until marriage. You're like, no, that's not how it works.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But I used to think what girls liked was like just way over the top, sweet, like romantic things.
Yeah.
So these girls, they weren't even like they had the idea like, man, I don't know, Jeff's cute and he seems nice enough. But then I would just go way too far. Like I'd have like flowers delivered to their classroom, and I would be like,
So they're I
Like,
loved that in junior high.
the
That
girls
was
hated it
awesome.
because everyone's going, who gave that to you? And then she's like, oh, Jeff died.
Well, you would do it like on a random day,
They
not
walk
like on Valentine's Day.
No, like during school, yeah,
Oh,
because my
God.
sisters would be like, everybody's getting flowers on Valentine's Day. It's special if you just do it like out of nowhere. And my sisters give me all this like woman advice. They're
Yeah.
not giving me like
male advice.
junior high,
Yeah.
high school advice.
Junior high, you
Oh,
were
it was
doing
so
that?
embarrassing. One time I had a girl, I was in love with her,
impressive.
Stacy Farnsworth. She went to a
you
different
remember her
school.
name?
Yeah, she went to a different school and she was so hot. And I was like, I couldn't believe, because I couldn't get girls from my school. They're all like, oh, he's like the silly guy that like is just never, like, no, we want cool guys who are athletes. And so I had her come over to my house, but I didn't answer the door. I just put like a note on my front door that says "come in," and there's all these like rose petals. It was like we'd been
Oh my
like we were
God.
getting
Oh
married
my
or something.
God.
It's so embarrassing.
That's so
and I
embarrassing.
know it like freaked her out. Like,
Friend
what
zone.
is this fucking problem? Why doesn't he just take me to like a little fast food restaurant like all the other boys his age?
Yeah.
Like, what is? He's like, it was way too.
You're
It
nice.
does
Did
freak you
You
out.
have two sisters.
I didn't know.
Your sisters?
Yeah, I was like, oh, I saw this on the thing. That was on that movie.
Yeah, it does freak you out if a guy comes on that fast. Even as a grown-up, guys do that. Like
No, not
I've
me.
had guys I go on one date with, and they start calling every day. One guy wrote me a song and sent it to me.
Oh, good.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry about that.
Yeah. Although then, to be fair, if it's a guy you really, really want,
Yeah, then you're like, oh.
then you're
things are
kind of
moving so
okay with
fast.
it.
Things are getting pretty serious.
Dude, imagine in 8th grade a girl walking around with a bouquet of flowers all day long.
So
That's
embarrassing.
so
I was
sad.
so embarrassed.
I was
like I
always-
gave like this is
She starts selling them.
gosh,
Here you go.
dang, what age was I? Probably 4th grade or 3rd grade.
Wow.
The first gift I ever gave a girl, I was like in love with her, Katie Greenfield. But we were all in love with her. And I'm
Jewish.
still
She's
friends
Jewish,
with her. She's,
Greenfield.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Maybe.
Sounds like it.
No, Feild.
Uh-huh.
But anyways, she
She's probably
Right.
executive
Greenfield.
producer.
I don't know.
it's not Greenfeld.
I'm like, what fucking difference does it make, Jeff?
Nah.
She's Jewish,
No,
right?
she's probably made it by now.
No, she's great. I still know her. She's
Oh,
up
dope.
in Seattle still. She's the best and she's great. She's got a beautiful family. Love her. But at that age, I was like told my mom, she's like, I really like her. And my mom's like, well, you gotta have the best gift then. And I was like, well,
No
what
way.
should I get her? And then she's like, what I think we should do is get her a nice piece of jewelry. We'll put
What?
it around the neck of a teddy bear. Right?
No
So my mom
way.
gave me like a really expensive piece of jewelry from her like jewelry box.
What?
Damn,
And then we
Mom.
went and bought this like little teddy bear to put it on, and I gave it to her, and everyone was just like looking at like, we got her super soakers. What are you getting? What is this 3rd grade proposal? It
Oh
was
my
so
God.
nerdy.
So
So
did-
those are my worst pickup
Let's
lines.
go get it back.
Wait,
Just
did it work?
age. No, it didn't work.
Yeah.
Wait, can I just
It
tell
only
you?
works if that's the boy they want to be with.
Yeah.
I just found out, and this says so much about my whole love life, that not only was the first guy I ever had a crush on in kindergarten, I still remember, like, I was obsessed with this guy. I just found
It was
out
kindergarten.
it was kindergarten, but I always was boy crazy. From
Little
like,
girls are weird
jump.
like that.
Yeah. But
Kindergarten.
he's gay now. Like, he's out of the closet. He's married to a dude.
Still haven't given up hope, have you?
No, but then I found out a guy I went to prom with is gay now.
Right.
I have dated so many guys that
2
turned
out of
gay.
5,000 guys
No,
you've dated.
there's been more. There's been at least 3 other guys that like I actually had sex with, but I was like, I'm pretty sure he's gay
Right.
just from how the sex was. Like,
Maybe your
I'm
vagina's like a gay porthole.
I think
Right.
that I attract
converting
gay
it.
men.
I hate to say this on this podcast, and I feel really embarrassed, but every guy I've ever dated has been gay.
Very
100% of the
Very
guys.
funny. All right, listen, we're almost out of time, but before we go, do you have a worst date ever story, like a horrible date fail or anything that's ever, or a psycho, stalker, just like anything?
I have a short one I can say, but I don't know if it counts as my worst.
Well, that's okay. Any fail is funny.
Yeah, so when MySpace was hot and I first moved to LA, a girl was like messaging me and like whatever, and I'm going back and forth with her. And she looked very beautiful. She looked like she was very successful. She was like in all these movies and stuff. And at least that's what it looked like on her MySpace. So we planned to meet up. I meet her at this Mexican restaurant. And I get there. She looks nothing like her images.
How different?
Well, she had the same face and same color of hair, but the body, the height, everything just looked like, what is this thing? And I was not impressed. I was pretty annoyed. I was pretty annoyed that with the dishonesty.
Yeah.
And then we started talking. I was like, oh, what about that one movie you did? And it turns out she's just like an extra in Hollywood. Like she just does extra work.
That's typical.
And so I was like, oh, that's what the resume is. She's not like this, whatever. And then so I, instead of just being a gentleman and like finishing out the dinner or anything like that, I made up a whole story about how my friend was drunk and he needed me to come pick him up. This is before Uber. And I was like, listen, I feel horrible. Let's just do this another night, or maybe like later tonight. I don't know when I'm gonna get in. I gotta go grab. He's such an idiot. He does this all the time. And I just like made up this whole thing, and then I left.
Did you ever hear from her again?
I saw her a long time later at a bar, and we talked. And
you're like, I gotta get my friend again.
He's drunk again. Well, because I felt so much shame for that. Like even in the car ride drive out of there, I was like, that was low. I could have just had a nice dinner, met a person.
Slept with her.
Yeah, but you know what? Actually, I don't think it is low because one, I actually think, I've talked about this before, but I think that if a girl is really, or a guy, if you're really misrepresenting yourself on those apps, it's lying.
Right.
It's no different than you saying you're a comedian and I show up and you work at a roller rink and you've done like 2 open mics, you know? And I think it's shitty.
It was a pretty high level of dishonesty coming from her profile.
See, and
she was bigger?
She wasn't bigger. She just didn't look
at all.
Yeah.
It wasn't her.
Yeah.
Well, no, I think it was photoshopped like just so dramatically.
Oh, really?
That I was like, who's this?
Scary. Yeah, fuck that. I don't think that's cool. And if you had sat through the whole meal with her, what if she liked you and then she kept texting you and shit? At least this way you let her go quickly.
Did you pay for the drink at least? Was there
We didn't even. We sat down. Like we had sat down ahead. There's nothing to pay for.
Nothing. You're like, I gotta.
I was like, I'm out.
The chips and salsa are free. We're good. Okay, let's get out of here.
That's what I was like. I
no
did that
way.
happen.
Do you ever feel like because you're a comic that you're a little too honest? Like sometimes I'm so unfiltered. I'll just say something and then later be like, that was probably a little harsh.
Yeah.
Well, you know, this has nothing to do with dates, but that's my favorite reason why I hang out almost exclusively with comedians, because I've never hung out with a comedian and they go, "Are you gonna put that in your bit?" Like, no, comics we can just talk freely.
Right.
Also, like if I say something horrific, like they know, like, oh, it's just we're just all joking. Like Jeff has no. He's not trying to be edgy with us. He was just going for a laugh. And the same vice versa. Like if you say, I'm not gonna be like, "Hey man, we don't talk about women like that." Like, no, it's a joke.
I'm offended
by comedians.
that.
Yeah, it's like the other day I was hiking with Nicole Amy and she said something, I forget who it was, someone in her family has a disease and she said something funny about it. And like it's horrible that someone in her family has a disease, but I was like, oh, that's hilarious because what she said. And then she's like, only 2 comics would be like, my dad has cancer, and then say something. You're like, oh, that's so funny. But that's just the way we think. I mean,
my sister died in a car accident. She was the closest human to me in my life. I loved her to death. She basically raised me because my parents were pretty neglectful. And when she died in a car accident, when she died, a night later, and everyone was pretty aware of it happening because it was like a whatever. I went on stage and was doing jokes where I was like, yeah, I don't know if you know her, my sister, da, da, da. And it just goes to show, you know, she was texting and they were texting, and you know, just you can't let women drive like that. And that was it. And after the show, people were like, hey man, like you shouldn't do that. I
love that. They're telling
they could
you.
Also tell that like
you're emotional.
I didn't know how to process it.
Well, that's what we do.
I only know humor as a coping mechanism.
Yeah. I tweeted that one like not that long ago because the last guy I dated, I usually don't. I try not to tweet anything too mean. Like if I go through a breakup and I'm depressed, I'll tweet jokes about it. But I tweeted one that was a little mean. I said like, for Halloween, I'm going to be the last guy I dated. I need a guitar, cigarette, and a mediocre dick or something. It was a
that's
little
good
mean.
though.
I know
But
that guy.
also, it's only mean if people know who you last dated.
That's true, and no one
If
did.
it's vague
no one
enough,
did. It was vague.
then that's great.
But it's mean if he sees
Yeah,
that.
it's a dig on him,
'cause
but
you
he's like,
called
oh,
it
this mother. Yeah,
mediocre
but I
dick.
also I think that's great.
Well, I felt a little
Yeah.
bad about that one, but then
So you texted it to him. Sorry about this.
no, he saw
I'll
it.
give you one more- I'll give you one more try.
Yeah.
I knew he saw it. But the thing is, what I was going to say is the thing is that if we make a joke about it, to me, anything that ends up being a joke in my act was so painful I had to turn it into a joke.
Sure.
So like in some ways, that's just the way that you process.
Right. When actually I stopped obviously telling jokes about my sister's death like immediately. But I also thought it was sweet that all the comics were like, "Hey man, like we can tell you're like
Yeah.
mourning. Like you don't have to do that. You don't have to go like I was
Of
like,
course, yeah.
I didn't have
that's
to
hard.
address it.
That's
yeah.
hard, man.
Yeah.
Well, damn, Jeff, I'm so glad you came. This
Thanks
was
for
so
having
fun
me.
having
Let's do
you.
this again tomorrow.
We-
You guys want to
We'll
just
be
do it
back
again
tomorrow.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Tell everyone again, it's Jeff Dye and Friends is your podcast?
No, it's called Jeff Dye's Friendship.
Jeff Dye's.
And the rule is you just have to be my friend and you're a guest. You don't have to be famous. You don't have to be on a TV show. I just want my friends.
That's so sweet.
And we hang.
I like that. All right, guys, follow Jeff at Jeff Dye. Thank you guys for listening. Follow me at KQ Funny. Follow Jack at
Jack Jr. Comic.
Jack Jr. Comic.
Comic. And peace out. Bye. That was great, Jeff. You're